The love that the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is getting from the community is unmatched, and it's breaking records. And I totally understand it. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 has been in my hands for nearly 3 weeks now, and I just cannot stop using it for multiple reasons, which I'll talk about in this video. But not everything is perfect about the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And I'll also mention that as well. But first, some good news. According to Samsung, early numbers in the US show the lineup pacing towards the highest Z series pre-order totals in company history, driven heavily by the strong interest in the Z Fold 8 and the Z Fold 8 Ultra. The newly redesigned Galaxy Z Fold 8 is of course leading the pack with nearly half of all the pre-orders coming from just this phone alone. And Samsung noticed something that I predicted. A lot of the Flip owners are moving over to the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And it makes sense if you think about it. For those that want a comfortable flip phone, Samsung makes that, but the next step up would have been the Fold 7, or in this case, the Fold 8 Ultra. But the difference between these two devices is astronomical, not only in terms of hardware, but the size as well. But here we have the Fold 8, which sits comfortably in the lineup. The Fold 8 is perfect for those that don't like the narrow form factor of the 8 Ultra, but also don't like to constantly open the phone like the Flip. In other words, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is the best of both worlds. You get the content machine that the 8 Ultra provides with the one-handed closed comfort of the Flip, with of course a more usable front cover display and, well, with the battery life to back it all up. The anti-reflective display of the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is also something that I feel like helps a lot with usability. It may be difficult to see and to truly appreciate over a camera, but in person the difference is quite dramatic, and it makes using the phone easy for seeing content outside and especially in a car or while you're on a treadmill at the gym. Those overhead fluorescent lights are no joke, but the display just eats it all up. What the heck? That's one of the reasons why I think the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is perfect. Because you can easily enjoy content on the cover display with no issues. You can scroll social media, watch some reels, or even do some reading as well. But then once you got some time to kill and want to lay back and relax, you have this gorgeous 3000 nit display to look at. And what I truly appreciate is that Samsung doesn't over-exaggerate the brightness numbers like on spec, because technically, well, this phone, the Motorola Razr Fold, which competes against the 8 Ultra, but this phone has a 6,200 nits of brightness, which is 3,200 more than the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and the Z Fold 8 Ultra. But if we compare these two phones, you can clearly see, well, the Samsung is brighter. That's why I never really judge a product based on the specs on paper because, well, I mean, I'm not saying Motorola is lying, but I'm just certainly saying that's a very dim looking 6,200 nit display. You know? Battery life on the Galaxy Z Fold 8 has also been suspiciously good. And I say suspiciously because this phone only has a 4,800 milliamp hour battery, whereas other foldables, especially in the Chinese market, by the way, those are amazing foldables, but they are at like 6,000 milliamp hours. But see, here's the thing. Samsung's optimization is killing it. They're doing great. For example, on this day, I used 47% of my battery and got nearly 5 hours of screen time. Another creator friend of mine, Josh, reported his battery life at over 9 hours of screen on time with a couple percent left. That is legitimately insane. That is more than I'm getting on my iPhone 17 Pro or my iPhone 17 Pro Max. I just don't, I don't get it. I don't get it. It feels like Samsung is downloading more battery through Wi-Fi somehow. I don't know, ask them. But like I mentioned in the beginning, no phone is perfect, and this one does have some flaws, which isn't even the fault of Samsung, it's the fault of the aspect ratio. Remember when the iPhone 6 came out, they upgraded from the iPhone 5S? Well, the iPhone 6 is a much larger display than the iPhone 5S and therefore a different aspect ratio. So for like a month or two after, anytime you opened up an app on the iPhone 6, you would get these ridiculously large bars because that app wasn't updated for that aspect ratio. Kind of the same thing is happening here. For example, when you're replying to an Instagram comment, you don't really see what you're typing until you hide the keyboard. However, when you're just typing a normal comment, you can see it just fine. It only happens when you're replying to a comment, which again makes me suspect that Instagram just didn't update the app yet. Another downside from apps that haven't been updated is that if you want to see the comments as you're scrolling through videos, you can't do that without the comments being over the video. Now, this feature should be coming soon once developers update the apps, and I have a feeling they're going to update them pretty quick because a lot of people are pre-ordering these phones, so it makes sense for them to kind of rush out that update. All in all, the Galaxy Z Fold8 has been nothing but great to me. I enjoy using it daily and I can see myself continuing to use it. And I know a lot of you are excited for it as well. And look, I totally get it. Great battery life, great display, very comfortable size, great cameras as well. So what about you? Did you pre-order the Galaxy Z Fold8? If you did, let me know down below the reason why. I have a strong feeling it's the form factor, but I may be wrong. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely click that like button. And if you're new here and you like these types of no BS reviews and update videos, definitely subscribe. As always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.